Yo.
What's happening? What's up?
Nothing much. How's it going?
Pretty good. You?
Good. Tomboy?
What's up, boys?
How you doing
up?
back there?
No good.
Good.
What's new, bud? How's the weekend? What do you got?
Weekend was pretty good. It's been a long fucking week once again, but I did have a pretty good weekend actually. Yesterday, which was Saturday, I got to see a lot of really fun people that I don't get to see often. So I'm going to give a couple shout-outs to those peeps because I know some of them are listening.
Go on.
So yesterday started off having brunch with Robert and Christine.
Oh, Duckworth?
Yep. So the recently married couple. So shout out. I know
Shout out
Robert's
to both
listening.
of you. Yeah.
We had brunch with them, and we had brunch with Jen's brother Vinny and his new girlfriend Stephanie. So
Okay.
shout out Vinny and Stephanie because I know you're listening too.
Vinny and Steph, thanks for
Because
listening.
They're the ones that when I was leaving brunch and we were saying our goodbyes, he was like, "Hey," to his girlfriend. He's like, "You want to listen to Pizza Bagels on the way home?" They were driving back to Pittsburgh, and she was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, dude! Like if you've never listened, like maybe
Sick.
the road tripping might not be your best time to start."
Wait, where do they live?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, so they can get
like
at least two and a
yeah,
half episodes
yeah,
in, maybe
yeah.
3.
So he just went on his phone and he was like, "Hey Siri, play Pizza Bagels pod," and it was like, "Now playing breast milk shots with Natalie." And he texts me and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing an informative class about breast milk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you might not want to start with that one, but
Or
do you?
Yeah. I mean, it was very informational.
yeah, it totally was."
Informative.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then after that, we went to the Natural History Museum.
Okay.
Myself, Jen, and her sister Nicole, Nicole's husband Brian, and their 2 kids. And we saw Tattoo Allison.
Okay. Oh, yeah, she works there.
Yeah, so she hooked us up with like a behind-the-scenes
Yep,
tour.
that's dope,
She
right?
took us back like in the staff-only area. We were like playing with birds and feeding otters
Yeah,
and shit.
sick.
And it's so, I mean, I know it's nerdy as fuck, but it's cool as shit to have a hookup at this museum.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I know somebody and I'm going in the back room that no one else can go to.
Right. Feeding otters and shit.
Yeah,
Like, that's
super
so
cool.
cool.
Super cool. And then since we were out in that area, we went over to L'Albatros, which is my favorite restaurant in Ohio, that French restaurant I used to work at 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't worked there in 8 years, and I walked in, and the whole kitchen staff was just like, holy fucking shit. And they all stopped what they were doing, came out, hugged me. The owner came over. He's like, "What's up, dude? Come on, I'm like, "It's Saturday. We don't have a reservation." He's like, "I don't give a fuck. Here's your table." He brings us out champagne. Like,
Sick,
I
dude.
get top-notch service there. So shout outs to Chef Jeff, who I know is listening.
Chef Jeff.
Chris Fetko, who's my favorite server that took
Chris
care of
Fetko.
us, and Julian, the owner, who's a bad
Julian.
motherfucker. I know you're not listening, but that's okay. It's not really your cup of tea.
Julian Goulian.
Yeah, right. Julian Fangulia. But yeah, it was awesome. So just overall, very busy, but a really kick-ass day. A lot of great people, a lot of good food. We stopped at Jolly Scholar and we had a beer and 2 shots before we went to the museum. So
The
that was
old
great.
Jolly Scholar.
Yeah, so it was just a fun, and it was beautiful out. We just had a really fun day.
It has been a great weekend.
Yeah, so it's been good. What about you? How was your weekend?
I have actually had a pretty pleasant weekend as well.
Good. You deserve that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Friday, I got us some more QR code stickers.
Nice.
So we got plenty of those to pass out and send out. I know there's some of you that are still listening that I need to get those out, which I will try to do this week. I know, Mario, you're listening. I got to get those out to you. And a few others. Yesterday, got some new ink done, which is dope.
Oh, yeah, what'd you get?
I got can you see that?
I can.
Yeah. It's the Heart Hanging from the Noose. It's a Used album.
Oh, cool.
If you listen to the Used.
Nice.
One of my favorite bands. So
I'm actually in talks to get my next tattoo, probably not this coming week, but the week after.
hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting a tattoo for Jen's dad that passed. He's from South Africa, Charles. So I'm getting their South African national flower. It's super, super bright, like pink, white, yellow. Beautiful.
Hell
And,
yeah.
So I'm going to get that along with like the circle tattoos that I've gotten before for Memorial. So I'm going to do another one for that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm
I
pumped.
like that.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. So today I'm really excited. After we're done recording here,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make my first attempt
Uh-oh.
at making Italian wedding soup.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I really had a knacker for it. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
On like, I don't know, Thursday.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the grocery store and they were still like barely any power, no
Sure.
perishable. So I'm like, motherfucker, I really want this. We ordered from an Italian place over here in Lakewood. Food is kind of trash.
Which
and
place?
Bar Italia.
I hear really good things.
I had it like once, like a couple years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. I ordered their bucatini bolognese. Very floral tasting.
That's not
It
correct.
kind of threw everything off.
Yeah.
Wasn't into it.
Bucatini is my favorite, probably one of my favorite
It's
noodles.
a dope
and it's
noodle.
The best one for bolognese.
Yeah. And I got the Italian wedding soup. Very bland.
That sucks.
It was just very boring tasting.
Gotta go to Bruno's, bro. They have the best Italian wedding
I've
soup.
had Bruno's, but I've not had their Italian wedding. So
Yeah,
I
it's real good.
I will try that out next time I swing through there.
There's only two things you need to know for that are really important for making Italian wedding soup. One is the structure of the meatballs, super important, so it doesn't fall apart and just turn into like meat bits.
Yeah.
And the other is no matter how much you think it's a good idea to just cook the ditalini pasta in the broth,
Nope.
don't do that.
No.
You know why? Because you end up with a bowl of fucking macaroni and no broth.
Yep.
I've done this
fucking
twice.
shit you not. I was
Yeah.
just talking about before you boys showed up, and I told Jess, I was like, I'm going to cook the noodles separately and then put that in your bowl and then just put your broth in on top of it.
Exactly
She
how
goes,
you do
thank
it.
fucking yes. I was
Yeah.
like, it's going to fuck everything. I don't know why people are like, yeah, just dump it in, cook it al dente. It's like it absorbs fucking everything.
It makes perfect sense, and it looks good when
It
you
looks
first do
awesome
it. It
when
looks
you're watching
awesome.
the
And
video.
the first bowl you eat is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's so good because everything just tastes. It's not like there's no water from the pasta. It's not watered down at all. And then you put it in the fridge because whenever I make soup, I make enough for like 50 fucking people.
Yeah, of
I'm an
course.
idiot.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I open up the lid and there's no broth. It's just the ditalini pasta is now the size of golf balls.
Yeah.
And I've
yeah.
pasta salad, and I'm
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, I just wanted soup.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to be doing that today. Funny thing is, though, I did go to the grocery store, and I was like looking around for shit, and I was going through, and I happened to just walk. I was just cutting through the frozen section to get to the back of the store, and I happened to look over, and I saw some grape Uncrustables sitting there, and I started laughing to myself because we had that episode about the PB&Js being underrated, overrated, and there's some people commenting, and then the one dude says, wait until he tries Uncrustables, which I also think you boys said the same thing, right? I think you guys brought the Uncrustables. So I was like, all right, dope. So I'm standing in line. I'm like looking around the box to figure out.
Have
like,
you never had one before?
I've never had one
Okay.
before. So I'm like looking around the box. I'm like, well, I don't even, would I throw these in like the toaster oven? Like, what's the sitch? So I get home and I look at it and I start laughing to myself. I'm like, the directions say that like, put it in the freezer when you're ready to eat, take it out and thaw it for 30 to 60 minutes.
Yep.
And then eat it within 8 to 10 hours. I'm like,
That's
what
it.
the fuck? This is how you're supposed to eat it? Like, I feel like I'm caught in a fucking like Mitch Hedberg joke. Like, hey Mitch, do you want a frozen banana?
Right.
No, but I want a regular banana
about a-
later.
yeah.
So yes.
Right.
Like that's how I felt with the fucking Uncrustable. I was like, are you shitting me? So I fucking took it out and I'm like, all right. I was doing shit around the house. I was like 45 minutes past. I was like, oh shit, the Uncrustable. I opened that bad boy up. I should have probably saved it for the show to try this for the first time. Yo, that shit is busted.
It was
dude.
good, man.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
I can
dude.
hate on peanut butter and jelly, but for whatever reason, a just perfectly thawed, like in that 45-minute sweet spot where it's still ice cold is a fucking banger. I don't know. I could probably eat 20 of them like an animal.
Dude, I know. I didn't know they were just like little single packets. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was just like in like a giant bag or whatever, or like in like twos, you know.
Yeah.
And like I just made myself a PB&J last week, and I was like, "Fuck yes, dude, let's go."
Jesus
And then, or I should say earlier this week, but I'm like, "Oh, let me
Do you
try
need
this."
to, do you need to
Uncrustable.
borrow some money?
No, dude.
All right, I'm just
I have
checking.
plenty of money.
All right, well,
My girlfriend's Jewish.
that's true.
okay. We have lots of gold.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll give you a good rate if you need to borrow some money then.
Yeah, I got a guy
Yeah,
or a
exactly.
gal.
Right.
But yeah, dude, try that Uncrustable. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking good. So I don't remember your fucking handle, but you messaged us or commented on the video. I took this recommendation also from you boys. The Uncrustables are fucking delicious.
Yeah. What people do now with them is they'll fry them in a saute pan like in butter, so that the outside gets crispy, and then they roll it in cinnamon sugar. So
Interesting.
you get like almost like a churro PB&J.
I imagine you could have thrown in like a toaster oven too
You
to kind of
could.
give it like that crisp, you know?
Yeah, but
Interesting.
everything better with butter, you know.
Sure.
Fry it up a little bit. Funny story with Uncrustables. We were at it. This was years and years ago. We were at a tribe game. We can still call it that. They were the Indians back then.
Yeah.
So we were at an Indians game, and I was going to get 12,000 beers and 500 hot dogs. And I'm like, Jen, do you want anything? And she's like, yeah, can you get me like nachos? And I'm like, sure, whatever.
Hell
I
yeah.
figure every place has nachos, right? It's a
yeah.
fucking baseball stadium. I stand in line for like 45 minutes and I get up there and I'm like, yeah, and I'll have fucking 10 beers and I'll have 6 hot dogs and I'll have nachos. And they're like, we don't have nachos. And I go, well, I'm not standing in a different fucking line.
Yeah, you have to fuck off down the lane there.
I'm like, do you have anything like nachos? And they're like, what the fuck is like nachos? I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't stand in a different line. I need something for my girlfriend. She's expecting nachos.
Can't you just chop up hot dogs? Give me some chips.
He just looks at me.
Give me those Lays.
He just looks at me like I'm an asshole. He goes, I don't know. We have these fucking sandwiches, these peanut butter jelly sandwiches. I go, that's hilarious. I'll take 2 of those.
Okay.
He's like, really? Because those aren't like nachos. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Just bag them up. So I come back over. It's an hour later now. I drank 3 beers on the way back to the seats, right? I'm carrying like 5 beers, 6 hot dogs, and Jen's like, where's my nachos? And I just hand her a fucking toddler's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And she's like, this is such bullshit. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. They just didn't have nachos. I'm not staying in another line. She was like, this is like the 3rd best sandwich I've ever had in my life. She was like, this thing is so good. I have no idea why.
It's because it's peanut butter and jelly.
That's not why.
It's so fucking underrated.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
so
perfect.
good.
It's perfectly rated. It's a trash sandwich for homeless people.
Fuck off.
Yep.
So, anyways, right? So,
I love this is like the 11th episode we've talked about peanut butter and jelly, by the way. We're called Pizza Bagels, and all we do is fight about who's right about peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, we could change the name. Peanut butter and jelly.
For pores.
So, as I was fucking walking through to go cash out, lines are backed up. And I'm like, okay, self-checkout, I guess it is.
Is this like a giant eagle?
Yeah, it's a giant eagle. And dude, I understand the invention of it is to kind of make it things like a little easier to kind of do like you have like the 10 items or less. Remember they used to have like one lane that
Yeah,
was
the
like kind of
express
less?
lane.
Right. They don't have those anymore. So the self-checkout's like, yeah, cool, you can knock this out and the line will keep moving. But like you're like scanning shit through and then you're just trying to scan and it's not beeping. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm a fucking idiot and the screen's like,
Well,
hey,
have you gone to training at Giant Eagle?
no.
Then why wouldn't you be an idiot when you're fucking scanning? I don't know how to do this. Well, why not? Because I don't fucking work here.
I mean, it's just as fucking simple as scanning. But yes, you're right. You're right. I
would
agree with
think.
you. But I'm like scanning, like, why isn't this fucking can scanning? And then I'm like looking at the screen and it's like, hey, did you just scan the broccoli or not the broccoli, like the celery? I'm like, yeah, you obviously know I scanned it. Why are you asking me when you know I scanned it?
No, this is Grand Theft Celery, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, and I'm
What
like,
do you think?
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, so now I have to hit the yes button to continue. I'm like, this is pissing me off. It's just, and then all the bullshit that you have to fucking get through just to fucking hate it.
And then the light starts flashing, so the whole store knows you're an imbecile.
Oh, yeah.
And some dickhole has to come over with their giant badge and scan it, and they
Yeah.
ask you your birthday, and you're like, I'm buying toilet paper. What the fuck do you care?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, anyway, dummy, next time you just flip it upside down. Like, fuck you.
The barcode's on the bottom,
Yeah.
idiot.
Also, can I get a pack of cigarettes? They're like, yeah, I have to walk about 3/4 of a mile that way to go get those, and then they'll be $14.75 when I get back. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
And you're gonna have to wait here until I get back.
Yeah, and I need to see 3 forms of identification. I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just basically one of those that kind of set me off, and it's just the inventions that were just, I get it, but it's fucking dumb.
You know what's funny? I also hate that. And there a bazillion comedians have done this bit, right? Bill Burr did a great one about how he's like, I'm never doing that. He's like, I'll push my cart up there. I count 5 Mississippi. Nobody comes. I'm walking right out the front door with my full cart. I don't give a shit. I don't work here. He's like,
Just throw a 20 on the machine and be like,
I didn't know I was working today. I didn't
Yeah.
bring my fucking apron. You know, Bill Burr's all high pitched and annoyed about everything. But yeah, so I love it. The bitching about it. I think self checkout is a travesty. Like they're like, hurry up, come in, buy your shit, pick it out, put it in the cart, scan all of it, pay me, and get the fuck out.
yeah,
What the fuck do you do then? Like,
stop holding up the line.
yeah, exactly. It's so dumb. But then at the same time, now when I'm at the grocery store, I never use self checkout, never. But I never go to the grocery store for like 2 things. I always go if I'm buying like a cart full of stuff.
Yeah, because you're not gonna fucking go there.
But then I'll be there with a cart full of stuff, and somebody will be in line in front of me, and they're holding like a package of like muffins, and that's it. And I'm like, go to the fucking self checkout, bro. There's no line over there.
Yeah.
Just scan your one thing.
And
Get the fuck out of here,
yeah.
so I can do my whole cart and have the professional do it.
You know,
Jerk off.
at Mark's, they I've been there recently, and there's nobody at the regular registers.
Why don't they just give a discount for the self-checkout line? Why
I don't
don't they
know.
just say you save 4 cents on the dollar? You
Yeah.
get 4% off if you self-checkout.
Because it's them losing money.
But then everybody would go to self-checkout, and then they could have more self-checkouts and less people
It'd
working
still
there.
probably be saving them money as opposed to what they would be paying the employees, I suppose.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Hmm.
I mean, think about like Coinstar. You know the Coinstar they have
Yeah,
with those
yeah.
giant eagles. It's like, okay, if you want to roll, if you want to roll your own coins, you can take them to the bank and they'll give you full value.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to Coinstar, it's like we charge you 17 cents a dollar so that we sort the
Yep.
change. You lazy fuck. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah. You just dump your giant jug of change in there and it spits out a ticket. You go over to customer service and they give you your money.
Right.
Everybody's like, fuck those 17 cents on a dollar. I'll take
Yeah.
17% to not
Convenience.
have to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Everybody would do it. But this self checkout shit is out of control.
Yep.
It's out of
Agreed.
control.
Sucks.
Yeah. I
What
hate
a-
it. What a fucking piece of shit invention.
Yeah. What about what else? What else you got? What's coming to mind?
Man, I have a super old school, crazy invention. I mean, first of all, this is back from when we had VHS tapes.
Okay.
Nah, you remember those?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So do you remember that you would get fined if you returned them not rewound?
Oh yeah.
They'd be
Yeah,
like,
when you
"We'll
take them
charge
back to
we'll
like
charge
the
you-" Yeah,
Blockbuster or
you
whatever.
Take it to Blockbuster, and they're like, you didn't rewind this, so we charge your account $1.
Yeah.
So they started selling.
I forgot
so
about
they
that.
started selling VHS rewinders.
Oh yeah.
Like that was all that thing did. It was
Yeah.
a separate box. You would just put your tape in and close it and push a button, and it would speed rewind it for
Yeah.
you
And supposedly it was supposed to be like
4 times faster. or
well,
whatever.
and it was better on the tape and less damaging to your VCR. Also,
Fine.
who knows?
What
but
the fuck?
I remember my friend growing up. They had a Corvette one.
That's
It was
awesome.
a red Corvette, so you just hit the hood and then it would lift up, and then same deal.
I also had the red Corvette.
Did you?
Mhm.
Nice.
It worked great.
Yeah, I don't remember any issues happening. Fucking, I forgot about those.
Yeah, I remember. It's so funny. My grandma in New York, the big Jewish grandma Lita, she lived in a Fifth Avenue apartment, a huge Fifth Avenue apartment. I mean, we're talking about. I'm remembering from the 80s, and this place in the 80s was probably $5 million.
Uh-huh.
And that thing, she had a grand piano. She had a live-in maid/cook.
Must be nice.
Yeah, and you know what? She was like, just stick that in the VCR rewinder. And I was like, how much fucking money do you have that you have I'm like, because the VCR has a rewind button. And she's like, but what if I want to watch a movie right after this movie? And then I can just rewind while I'm watching the other movie. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're rich.
I mean, I guess if you had to rewind to take it back to Blockbuster or whatever, sure.
Yeah, but your VCR still rewinds.
Yeah. You can also just watch this movie and then just rewind them both, like after they're done while you're
Rewind
doing
while you're
whatever.
sleeping or taking a shit.
Yeah.
You know, take a shit and rewind a movie.
Let's see how much did the VHS rewinders cost. What do you think?
$45. I bet it was more expensive than a VCR, which makes no sense.
Back
Look
then,
up to see it
VCR
like in the
was
'90s.
$100.
Were they $100?
They had to be.
You're probably right. I mean, I'm sure when they
I
first
remember-
came out.
You remember when DVD players came out?
Oh,
how
sure.
expensive that shit was?
Yeah, I mean, my first computer I bought, I was 13 years old. It was like $3,300.
Yeah.
If I put that money into fucking Apple instead of buying an Apple, I'd have $4.14 million today.
Yeah, I mean,
Not that I checked yesterday or anything.
it does say it was like $100 or less for like the actual VCR. I'm trying to find
I'd imagine
what.
it'd be like 40.
Well, you know, I mean,
30,
here's
40
here's
bucks.
another thought. So when the movie Bad Boys came out, when
Uh-huh.
was that? Early 90s?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a little earlier than that, I would guess. But when that movie came out, my grandma bought it for me on VHS for like $75 because it had just came out that day.
Whoa.
And it was like, or like she got like a pre-screener of it somehow, and it was like $80 for a VHS tape.
For Bad Boys?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah,
I mean,
$80. But I mean, that's just to tell you, like, I mean, that's when, you know, if you're getting shit day of and whatnot.
I mean, granted, I was a child, but I don't think that. Granted, on how many VHS tapes we had, I couldn't imagine that they cost that much.
No, they didn't. It was just like because it was like, first of all, she
Like
would,
early access.
Early access. This was in
They did things like that back then?
This was in downtown Manhattan, and this was a place where she called the video store and they delivered to her apartment.
Oh, Jesus.
So she was like, I'm here with my grandson. He's like 13. What's a good movie he would like? They're like, oh, Bad Boys. We have a pre-screener. And she's like, great. I'll take it. Do you deliver? And they're like, yeah, that'll be $83.50. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you're the richest person.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're like the queen of the United States of America. This is awesome.
Man, that was way cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess also my folks were also like getting the blank VHS tapes and just recording like RoboCop and like Master of the
Right.
Universe like off of TV, like
Yep.
off of cable when it was like on HBO,
Yep.
you know, back in cable days.
Yeah, that was one of the fun things about being a kid around that time is when you would see those tapes and it would say like, you know, first grade graduation, and then you would see it was scratched over and say RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a badass movie. I mean, I'm sure you don't want memories of your child, but it was a cool movie.
Fuck it, it's fine.
It wasn't
yeah.
even that good of a movie.
No.
RoboCop was tits, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where they fucked up. They should have just kept
Yeah.
just if it was the first RoboCop, then fine. You can
Totally.
record over the graduation.
Yeah, when he shot that
but-
guy in his dick.
Yeah,
That was
that was
fucking
way cooler.
badass.
I could not find how much they used to cost for those rewinders in the 90s, but
Huh.
I would.
Bad Boys is 1995.
That makes sense.
But I guess
Yeah,
I
so I
would.
was 13 and a half. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. But I would assume that you guys set around like what, 40, 50 bucks?
That was my
would
guess.
probably sound about right in the 90s, I
Yeah.
guess, for that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a bitch about a new invention that I fucking hate.
All right,
That
go on.
sucks. These fucking, what are they called? Stanley mugs. Those insulated mugs that everybody is losing their fucking tits
Is
about.
that like with like the Yeti? Oh, we were talking about these, right? Those like Stanley cups.
Bro.
I don't know, remember like 10 or so episodes ago.
How fucking long do you need your drink to be hot? Like boiling hot.
But it-
undrinkably hot.
But doesn't it do the same thing cold?
It does. Now, cold, that makes sense. It also
Which is giving you options.
It also makes sense if you're doing it like for a thermos. If you're like, I'm going ice road trucking and I need soup for the day, and you're like, I want this to be hot for the next 8 hours.
Sure.
Because if not, what if my truck breaks down? I might die.
Yeah.
Fine, have hot soup for 8 hours. Jen made me a mug of tea the other day in a fucking Stanley thing with a lid on it and put it down on the little coffee table right next to the couch. I took a nap for like an hour and a half. I wake up and I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that tea. I took a sip and burned my goddamn lips off. It was like boiling, scalding hot water. Like,
Keep it
why
hot.
does it need to be so fucking hot? Jesus Christ.
Listen, I see your point, but
You don't need your drinks to be hot for 8 hours. Just budget your time.
Well, what if you have a nice hot soup that you're like, I made this in the morning, and then you're like, I'm gonna put it in there and I'm gonna have it for lunch. You don't want to put it in the fridge because it's gonna get cold and you gotta reheat. But now you have a nice hot soup for lunch.
Are we living in a world without microwaves right now?
Why would you microwave it if you just put it in the Stanley Cup? You're saving energy.
Oh, because that's
you're
my
saving
mission.
money.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Pro
I'm saying-
energy Dave
but
Cohen.
why-
Like,
why-
I just want a greener. I'm just trying to lower my
No.
carbon footprint with my soup.
I also don't give a fuck about that. But I'm
Fucking
just saying
give
that
a
like
shit. I don't have kids. I'm gonna die in like 12 minutes. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying that like why hassle with the fucking microwave if it's just still hot sitting on your desk?
Just eat your soup fast enough that it's as hot as you want it. I like soup pretty hot.
But you made it for lunch, and you guys, our lunch is like 4 or 5 hours away.
That can't be healthy either, though, right? Because if you look at restaurants, look at the temperature guidelines for zones when bacteria won't grow, right? You have to keep shit at like 165 degrees.
Okay.
Anywhere between anything like lower than that, over 40, less than 145 is the danger zone, is when bacteria grows like bananas. You can't just fucking have hot ass soup
I
in a
mean,
thermos all day and expect it to be good all day.
well, first off, I didn't say all day. I said 4 to 5 hours. Also, that's kind of bullshit.
that's most of the day.
No one actually gives a fuck. I mean, there's people that are really weird about like leaving food out for like 10 minutes, and they're like, that's got to be thrown away.
Oh, so I say 4 or 5 hours is all day, and then you're like 4 or 5 hours. Now it's 10 minutes.
I'm saying there's people out there
Fuck
that won't
off.
leave food out on the counter for 10 minutes. Like, I forgot to put my leftovers in the fridge. We just got back 15 minutes ago. It's bad now. Throw it in the fridge or in the garbage.
Dude,
You
if I
can
left
eat
a plate
food
of
that's
deviled eggs on my front porch yesterday at 4:30 p.m., I would have eaten them this morning when I woke up if I found them outside. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, that would have been a stretch for myself,
No,
but
right.
deviled eggs sitting on the counter for 4, 5, 6 hours, I would have ate that. I
Hell
don't give a
yeah.
shit.
I like that little crust they get on the outside of the
Yeah,
egg part.
yeah.
It has a little
It's
texture.
room temperature. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be super
Bursts
cold.
forth in your mouth a little.
Yeah, it's a little melty,
Yeah.
a little soft. Gross.
Yeah.
Um,
But too hot. It's
Yeah,
just
okay.
too much.
Okay.
It's too much. You don't need your coffee to be hot for 8 hours. Just get a second cup 4 hours later and then have a brand new hot cup, and then you can blow on it, or you can wait an hour until it's the perfect temperature and drink all of it. It doesn't need to be boiling hot for 8 fucking hours.
I guess.
Jesus Christ.
But it's great for being cold, though, right?
Yeah, it's fine for being cold.
Yeah, it's fine. It's probably awesome if it's fucking 95 degrees outside and your beer, if it fits like 2, 3 beers, I don't know how big those things are. 2 beers?
3 beers?
2 beers?
All right, yeah.
I don't know how big they are. Let's say 2 beers. If it's, let's say 24 ouncer, right?
I'm sorry.
And you're like, you can take this if you want to go hiking or you want to go
That's
walk.
exactly what I want to do. Go on.
Why not? Drink beers while you're hiking?
What about drinking beers and not hiking?
I mean, you
Sounds
can.
Twice as fun.
But then you just sit on your porch and you can just grab a beer per beer, each beer from the fridge as you finish them. I'm talking about you got to be gone, away from the fridge. No more beers except for what's in your thing. You know, a little walk to the park.
Be one
Maybe.
with nature, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to drink 2 beers in less than 8 hours. I don't need my 2 beers to be cold for 8 hours. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
But-
Why does it need to be cold? Now they're saying, like, this will keep, like, if you leave ice and beverage in this cup, the ice will stay solid for, like, 40 hours. Why? Why do you need your
In
drink to
case.
be ice cold for
If
40?
if you're traveling a bunch,
Yeah.
What am I traveling through? The fucking
Well, not you
Gobi
personally.
Desert?
Yeah, there's
Like,
people
you
that are
personally-
traveling all the time.
yeah, you personally might
Like
not
you
be
said, truck
traveling.
drivers.
Or
I'm just saying, you're not drinking a full amount of that in 40 hours? That's insane to me.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think
Bro,
the Stanley
this
Cup
is like
dope, dude.
24 ounces. I already drank one. I'm halfway through a second one, so I'm 36 ounces of liquid in. We're 26 minutes into the podcast, which, by the way, I did not budget these White Claws properly. Fuck. But still, I'm just saying, there's no way.
I think there's a couple drips of breast milk left in here if you want that.
Oh, is there booze in there?
That's what that said.
I'm just saying, it'll never work for me because I'll need more beverage. So
I'm going to
just
disagree with you. I think the Stanley Cup is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but if anybody wants to send me one for a gift, I will take that.
you can get one for way cheaper that doesn't say the word Stanley on it for the same exact thing.
Is the Yetis, are those the same thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're expensive.
it's just the new popular brand is Stanley.
So if anybody wants to get me one that doesn't say Stanley or Yeti, I'll take that. And then I will test it out.
Yep.
Get this for research purposes. Buy me one. Send it to me. I will test it out and then
Report
tell
back.
the bagel to fuck off. 'Cause
Yep.
it's awesome.
That'll
Sounds
be-
awesome.
That'll be refreshing.
Yeah.
if we have an episode where you tell me to go fuck off.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna put a beer in there and then leave it for the whole week and then taste it on the next episode.
Cool. I'm gonna drink 835 beers in that week
Prove it.
at room temperature and tell you to go fuck
I
yourself.
would love to see that.
Yeah. Oh, would you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you would.
You could do like those like documentaries like the Super Size Me, where it's like, oh, I'm eating this just McDonald's for the whole time, but you just do that
I
with
just drink
beer.
I just drink warm.
Yeah, I mean
High
you can
Lifes.
eat and do everything, but
Oh,
I
thank
just
God.
the only things you drink is like warm beers, and I just want to see you just drink that many.
Bro.
Is
Yeah.
this going to turn into the Wade Boggs?
I was gonna
episode?
say. Yeah. I would be swarthy. That's what I would be after a bunch of warm beers. I mean, listen, these 2 claws I'm drinking, this is the first non-liquor alcoholic drink I've had in a long time.
Yeah, you don't really drink.
Oh no, that's not
bubbly
true. I
enough then.
had a porter. I had a porter beer at Jolly Scholar, but it's because it had a catchy name.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if there's a fun name for a beer, like when I was at Urban Farmer and they had their Christmas beer was "You'll Shoot Your Rye Out."
Nice.
I was like,
That's cool.
yeah, I'm buying that.
Yep.
Yeah. I was the bar manager. I bought it for the bar. Like we put it on tap.
Sick.
It didn't sell well, and they're like, "Why the fuck did you get this?" And I'm like, "It's hilarious." And
Yeah.
There's a picture of Ralphie. And they're like, yeah. "You laughing is not a reason to put a beer on the bar list, but oh well,
It should be though.
it should be."
Well, we completely sidetracked
We did,
ourselves
yep.
once again.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean,
Goddamn
kinda.
peanut butter
No,
jelly
no, actually,
sandwiches.
no. So you mentioned old school. Let's go way back to the pet rock. Genius or stupid?
It depends.
That's why I'm asking. In
Yeah.
your opinion, you think that was a dumb fucking thing, a dumb invention, or was it smart?
No, it's a crazy smart invention.
It was crazy
It's a
smart
crazy smart
idea, dude.
Listen, if it didn't take off, if somebody was like, I patented a pet rock and I lost my ass on it, you'd be like, no shit, dummy.
Mm-hmm.
But that dude made a ton of money, so smart invention.
Came out in 1975, back in the 1900s,
Yeah.
as the kids say.
Fuck.
It only lasted in stores for 6 months. They were $3.95 a piece
In 75?
in 1975.
That's fucking expensive,
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
That is
$3.95. And it was just in a little box with some hay and just a fucking rock, right? You want to take a guess, boys, on how much he made in that 6 months?
$4 million.
Tomboy?
2.5 million.
15 million.
Holy shit, in 6 months?
In 6 months.
In 1975?
Yeah.
Bro, that's like $800 million now.
Dude,
that's
$15
insane.
million. It was all the fucking rage.
All you need is like like going back to the Stanley Cup thing. It's all you need is the trend to go
Traction,
with.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
traction with the name, and then everybody jumps on to like, oh, I have to have one.
Well, I was looking at this. I was like looking into it, and they were saying that like his whole model for the whole thing is convincing parents like it's a pet for your kids, and it's less maintenance than picking up
You don't
dog
have to
poop,
feed
or you
it.
have to feed it. You know what I mean? There's no shots. There's no vet appointments. It costs nothing, and they think that they have a pet, and they
Yeah.
go, and the parents go, "What's $4? It could cost me hundreds for this dog, thousands." And then
brilliant.
every parent fucking did it, and then holy fucking
It's
shit.
brilliant, but you would think that one parent would be like, isn't it just a rock in a fucking box? And he'd be like, I'm ruined. You know,
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Well, I'm sure that they probably all thought that, but they go, if $4 is going to keep my kid happy and not ask me for a fucking dog, worth it. Because I was thinking to him, like, there's no way
See-
people could be that fucking stupid in the 70s and go, oh, I can't believe this is a great idea. I think it's for the kids.
I know,
Shut
definitely.
the fuck up, kids.
Yeah.
And play with your pet rock. Now
Totally.
leave me alone while I drink this. Don't shoot your rye out.
Yeah,
And
they should
read the newspaper and beat my wife.
I wish
Go
there
on.
right,
And
that
rant.
was a very 1975 thing. Yeah. I wish there was like a documentary about this person because it's very interesting. I
I'm
would
surprised there's not.
I would venture a guess that they created it, they created the packaging for it, and then gave away a ton of them for free. A huge amount of them for free. Because what does it cost him?
I mean, that
Rocks
makes sense.
and boxes.
Yeah.
It just gives out thousands and thousands and thousands.
First one's free.
And then one kid's like, oh, you don't have a pet rock, you poor piece of shit. And so he's
Yeah.
like, Mom, I need a pet rock.
Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, so now I'll pay $4 for a fucking rock in a box if my kid will shut the fuck up.
That's
about it.
exactly it.
And then he made $15 million. And he's like,
Fucking
you guys all just bought
genius.
rocks, you idiots. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't
God
get away with
damn
that kind of
it.
shit. And you know what's funny is that you know what they ended up doing? Is they end up making USB pet rocks
What does that even
for
mean?
people like in the office.
You
This
can
is things that
plug-
people
you
are still
plug
buying.
in your pet rock?
Yep. Into your USB. It doesn't take any power. It
Wait.
literally does nothing.
Does like the USB look like a rock?
No, it's it's a rock that has a cable coming out of it,
Uh-huh.
and the one side is a USB that you plug into your laptop.
And then what happens?
Nothing. Literally nothing. And it just sits there. It doesn't absorb any power. It's just for when people come walk past your cubicle and go, oh, what do you got going here? And they're like, that's my pet rock.
It's a pet rock, stupid.
And then they
and
go,
his name's Theodore.
yeah. And that's the whole thing, too, is that you could just fucking make up whatever story what you want. They cost $15.
This is crazy.
And people are buying those.
Do you think he patented and that he's made or trademarked? It would be trademarked.
I
I'm
think,
sure he did. He
don't
had
those
to
only
have.
last for 10 years?
I don't
You
know.
gotta re-up, though.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's
he
true.
re-upped. Yeah, so
I mean, he had
I
15
wonder,
million. Why not?
If he made 15 million, wouldn't you put 50 grand and just say just in perpetuity keep on renewing my trademark
For how long?
in case it forever, however long. I mean, however long you need it for, like the rest of your life.
I suppose.
I would say I don't want anybody else making money off this, and if they are, I want to cut. So I would trademark the pet rock, and then when somebody goes, "Oh, we have the new 2024, digital pet rock,"
Getting
fuck
the
you,
cut
pay
for
me.
that, yeah.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah. It's
Oh my god.
genius. And people are fucking.
He's just getting fucking royalty
idiots.
checks for pet rocks.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm slaving away at my goddamn job.
I know, right?
I was to say most
Fucking
parents
asshole.
will buy whatever, especially if it's cheap, just keep your kids shut up.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course,
I mean, think about all the stupid shit that we had our parents buy. Slap bracelets. We're just finding out now that we're just cut up tape measures.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Dumb
Speaking
shit.
of dumb inventions, children, am I right?
I thought you were going to say slap bracelets, but boom.
No, I'd rather
was
have a
just-
slap bracelet.
Yeah.
I would
me
say
too.
most of the stuff we liked as kids, like Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe and all that.
Yeah.
That's literally were only based on selling toys.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So,
But at least they were action figures that you're
Yeah, we
like,
could play with
you
them.
can move them
and-
around and like put a gun in one, or some of them
Yeah.
had parts you could switch out, like, or you could put hats on them,
Or
or
like a
change
button
out
you
the
could
weapons.
push and like it would spin its arms
Have
around.
the action arm. Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
pay extra for that stuff.
And we got
Yeah.
to use our imaginations for it. It's not like there were kids that were like, I gotta go take my pet rock for a walk.
Then there bet you there fucking was.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I guarantee you, they're like, I gotta take it, and they tie a fucking piece of string around
Can
it. And
you
just drag
imagine?
It. Could
Can
you imagine?
that your fucking kid comes out, just spills water on the floor, and he's like, "Sorry, Isaac must have peed there." And you're like, "Isn't Isaac your pet rock?" And he's like, "He had an accident."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you're about to have an accident down a flight of fucking stairs.
Sorry, he couldn't make it to the newspaper.
You know, people would probably have bought like the accessories for like charge them.
Oh, my God,
$20
yes.
for a leash. You know?
Oh yeah, a wig.
you know, I think what the closest thing for us, for this,
Tamagotchis?
no, because that was at least digital and kept you focused.
Yeah, but it was the same principle though.
Hold on.
Just pocket responsibility.
Yeah, but I think I got one better. So the pet rock just was there, just did fuck all, right? There was a toy. Do you think you know what I'm gonna say? What?
Pogs?
Nope. I enjoyed Pogs. That was
Ooh.
an actual game you could play against your friends.
Yeah, but it
Cheetah?
was more about collecting anything else.
Right.
Chia.
No. The fucking chicken nugget toys that came in the McDonald's that had faces on them.
Mr. Potato Head, but chicken nuggets?
Kind of. Do you guys remember these? Like in the 90s, it was in your Happy Meal, you would get, it was just like a chicken nugget that had a face on it. And then during Halloween, you could put it in like give it like a bottom and like a top to make it wear like a ghost costume, or like
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Frankenstein head,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
I do
it
remember
like gave it costumes. I feel like
What's the difference between that and like a Barbie doll or anything like that? Where you're
not-
putting on clothes and what?
well, because the chicken nugget is just a round shape, like a rock. The
Oh, yeah,
Barbie, you
okay,
can
I
move
get
its
it. If you
arms
don't like
around.
shape-wise, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a fucking circle with a face on it. And I feel like that's the closest thing that someone is like, well, the pet rock sold. Let's at McDonald's. It's like let's
Absolutely.
just do the same thing, but with a chicken nugget face.
I always say that's more Mr. Potato Head than anything.
Mr. Potato Head. You
Mr.
could
Potato Head.
fucking
Mr.
switch out
Potato
the
Head.
eyes, the nose, the mouth, the hat. I mean, the nugget. It just had a face. You could
Yeah.
put it inside of a like a little thing and put a thing on top of it. That
I
was
get
it. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but still.
Speaking of Happy Meals, I saw a thing online the other day talking about Grimace
Uh-huh.
and how he is perfectly shaped as a butt plug. And how it's extra funny that his name is Grimace, because what would you do if you got a
A butt
giant
plug?
butt plug inserted? You would grimace.
Probably a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
So yeah.
He also saved the New York Mets season this year. So
He what?
he saved the New York Mets season this
The,
year.
the grimace butt plug did?
The Grimace.
Why?
How?
They had the dumb superstition. They had the Grimace costume throughout the first pitch, and ever since then they started winning.
Interesting.
Like they were out of it all year and like awful and just about to blow the team up, and then
Huh.
Grimace saved the season.
Huh.
Well, good for the New York butt plugs. It's fucking awesome.
What else you got?
Selfie stick.
The selfie stick. Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
annoying when you're trying to be out doing
So
shit.
annoying. I thought it had one good purpose, which was like centerpieces for weddings. Like I thought that would be fun to put like when you have a table at a wedding and
Yep.
then just put a selfie stick so everyone's just like taking pictures of themselves like as
Mhm.
they're progressively getting more drunk, as they're
Yep.
dancing, loosening
That's
up.
a great idea.
Like, and then you could just have a website like Shutterfly or whatever, and just people can dump all their pictures in, and you could literally get away without like paying a photographer for a reception if everybody is selfie sticking it, stuff like that. But when you see the traditional, and it's just like two Asian people at the Richland with a selfie stick, you're like, get the fuck out of here! Like,
Yeah.
no one gives a shit. You're taking a picture from the ceiling at this shithole bar.
It
Fucking
sucks
dumb.
when you're out trying to do something fun, like you're out like hiking or a museum or whatever the fuck, and then there is 1,000 people that are just
Yep.
just in the way. You're like walking, you're like, and then you have to like duck under it, and you're like, God, just get the fuck out of the way, or just take the photo at arm's length like an adult.
Like an adult, or ask another fellow human to take a picture of you.
Yeah.
That's
What the
why a
fuck?
lot of the stadiums and places have all banned those things because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was
Makes
not
sense.
that. It was like 2-3 months, and they banned it. Every place banned them because
Sure.
yeah, it's convenient if you want to take a picture of you and your family, and you don't have anybody to take the photo, or you don't want to bother anybody yet. But at the same time, that it's annoying for everybody else that you have a stick that's like now you're blocking more of the walkway or whatever.
Yep.
It is, so.
Or the view, yeah, especially if you're at a fucking like baseball or football game.
Exactly. Now, there's lots of cool applications for it. Like, I saw a video of a dude who hit his first backflip while he was snowboarding using a selfie stick.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was fucking badass.
But you're not in the way of anybody.
No.
Not fucking with anybody.
No, and
Ruining
that
their
is-
time.
Yeah, that is not the rule, right? That's the exception. It's like, oh, you did something physically amazing. You caught it on video of yourself. That's dope. And
Yeah.
and the video looked awesome.
Agreed.
And the dude was on top of the fucking moon about it. He was so excited he landed his first backflip.
Fucking I would be too.
Absolutely, and it was like a really, really badass video. But for everybody else who's just like, hey, you want to take a picture? And they fucking extendo 6 foot, and they're like,
I mean, what's worse
Fuck
if
off.
you're hiking some sort of trail that has like let's say waterfalls and creeks and rivers, right? But there's just like one trail. Would you rather have somebody have the selfie stick or actually set up a fucking tripod that has so it's like you either are now going to have to like wait for them to take a shot, or do they just go, all right, well, come on, because you have to walk through
I don't know.
the shot like what's worse.
I'm just annoyed with all of it.
I know.
Fucking just hate people.
I know.
And the thing that pisses me off is not that they're using the selfie stick or that they're setting up a tripod or that they're blocking the way for people walking by. It's that they're never going to look at that picture. They're never going to look at it. They're going to take that, they're going to upload it onto social media to make other people go, oh my God, you went to a waterfall? You're so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you're in Bali? That's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
well, fuck off.
Yeah. Influencers are the fucking worst.
Yeah, social media is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want to be influencers?
No, I mean, I want to influence people to realize
Listen to
that.
our podcast.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. But if you catch me outside with a selfie stick, punch me right in the dick.
How about that?
Yeah, take that to the bank.
Selfie sticks. What about car lashes?
Oh,
That's
I
stupid,
forgot
right?
about that.
I did too.
Bro, I would never. Well, I can't say never. I was gonna say I would never call a car gay, but it's got fucking eyelashes on it.
Yeah.
Like, who's getting out of that car where you're like, okay, that makes sense? Like,
I
what,
think-
a 15-year-old girl.
15-year-old girl, some like diva ass fucking bitch.
What's the point? I mean, they don't serve a purpose. It's just so your
It's just
headlights
cosmetic.
look
That's it.
cute.
Just so yeah, that's it. That's so your car looks fucking cute. Those things cost like $30, and the person that I think it was a couple. There was a couple that made them, and at first they didn't hit off right away. And I forget what their whole gimmick was. I think it might have been kind of what you're saying is kind of like give some out and let people start seeing them. But I think they made about $3 million off of it. Like,
God, is that infuriating?
yeah, like short, like not too long after. I mean, like who knows how much they're making now if that's still really a thing. But
Listeners, you all know that I would never toot my own horn.
no, of course not. Never.
Humble is my cross to bear,
It's your middle name,
right? But I'm fucking crazy smart, and I don't have millions of dollars. But some dumb bitch does because she's like, I would make this car nicer. Eyelashes. Hey, Stephanie, what if we put eyelashes on it?
Yeah.
And she's
Oh
like,
my god.
and she's like,
I want eyelashes on my car too.
And she's like, that sounds super cute. And then they just
Yeah.
fucking make $15 million on that shit.
Especially when you had like driving around with like a bug, like those
Yeah.
like remember like
Yeah.
those like
It was
new bugs
always
and like those
bugs.
like late mid 2000s.
Oh my god, those things came. They had on the dash. They had like a little indented part for like a flower pot.
Yeah. Yeah, to put your flowers in there, your fake
hippie
flowers.
Homo erectus. That's a human.
It was like 2010
God damn
time
it.
period.
Yeah.
Those fucking those fucking car lashes, dude.
Dumb.
So dumb.
So dumb.
Segways.
Segways.
Segways. I
Yeah,
never
dude.
rode one.
Me either. I don't feel coordinated enough.
I can see that.
Thank you. I did almost get run over by one. I was at a real estate conference in Las Vegas, and I almost got ran over. Like this dude, I mean, inches away from running over my foot. This douchebag on a Segway in the hotel where they were doing this conference, and he rode past, and I was like, "Oh shit, that dude almost ran over my foot with that Segway." And then I saw him like 20 feet away, and he got off of it, and it was Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if you know who he is.
I listen. No, I don't.
Okay. So he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's one of like the greatest financial advisors of our generation. He's like one of the smartest and wealthiest people in the United States, and almost ran over my foot with a Segway. I would have made $50,000 if he ran over my foot.
Just like Sonny and Big Daddy.
Yep, 2 inches away. Yeah, exactly. 2 inches away from 50 grand.
Damn. I've
But
never
yeah,
rode
what a
one.
dumb invention.
I mean, I feel like that would have been cool to try, but I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. Like, is it
It's
just
like-
as dumb as like the scooters that are people riding around Lakewood?
Well, scooters are for poor people that have to rent them.
Okay,
Or
but
like
they're riding
I'll take
around
that back.
town.
Like normal people. But like a normal person's not buying a $5,000 Segway
No,
to
but they
not walk places.
But there are people that are making money off of families that are renting Segways
Sure.
to take down this trail or whatever.
Yeah, renting that
and it
makes
could
sense.
be fun. Tommy, have you ever rode one?
No.
I don't have the balls. The same
would
thing
try
with
it.
scooters. I'm not doing that.
I tried the scooters.
I'm gonna fall off and
It's
hurt
actually
myself.
pretty fucking quick. It was
Yeah.
like flying down Franklin.
That
But-
sounds awful to me.
It was fun.
Another one is those electric bikes now, like the bikes that have a motor on it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so stupid. It's like
Like the hot rod bikes?
no, yeah, kind
Isn't
of.
his like an electric bike too?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like you can.
yeah.
Yeah, and then but you still have to pedal to get
To
the
juice
motor.
it up.
It's like a
So
moped.
what's the point of having a motor on there?
It's like a moped.
Because isn't it all right? So don't you like pedal a little bit, get it juiced up, and then you can let it go? But it also gets up to like
It's
20.
30 miles an hour.
It's
yeah.
only
Right.
up to a certain. You pedal it to a certain speed. It's like it literally is like a moped. Like you pedal it to like 10 miles an hour, which is not difficult to hit on a bicycle.
Right.
And then it's going fast enough that the whatever's turning in there can start the engine. So then you can start it, and then it can go like 35 miles an hour.
I'm into it.
Oh yeah, those are dope, and they're cheap. I mean, they're like I don't know, like $8 an hour, and you can just
Oh,
ride
for
it.
like renting them?
I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the renting. I'm talking about the ones that people buy
Oh, I didn't know people.
They're the
buy
same
that
price
shit.
as
That's
a regular
fucking
bike.
Stupid.
See, here's the deal.
or more.
Actually, I wouldn't buy one because I fucking hate people that ride their bikes in the fucking street. I know there's a bike lane. I don't give a fuck. You piss me off. You're not. They have to go around parked cars, and then now they're just cutting into our traffic, and then we're like swerving around them
So
into
you want them on
oncoming
the
traffic.
sidewalk?
Yes, I'd rather bikes be on the
Nah,
fucking
dude,
sidewalk.
I can't.
What do you mean they can't?
They
I did
can't.
it my entire
That's
life.
what a sidewalk's for.
Yeah,
It's called a sidewalk, not a side ride.
it's not called.
Can you get a DUI on a bike?
Yes.
Apparently, you can. Yeah,
Oh, but can you get a DUI when you're walking?
yeah.
Yes.
It's
No.
called. Yes, it is. It's called public intoxication.
But it's
If
not
you're
called
walking down
DUI.
the sidewalk,
It's not called a DUI, is it? Because what does the D stand for?
dicks.
Yeah, you wish.
You wish.
What does the U stand for? Yeah. Yeah.
You can
So-
still get public intox for if you're
But that's not a
weaving
DUI.
back and forth walking on the sidewalk.
Listen,
It's the same thing,
You
basically,
could
though.
ride grandma to the store, but that doesn't make her a wagon.
I know you've said this
Okay,
already a bunch of times. Actually, I'm not going to ding it.
Oh, motherfucker.
Fuck you. Yeah, you've already reused that joke too many times,
Bullshit, says the person who argued with me about peanut butter and jelly for the 453rd time.
dude. That Uncrustable
It was
was
fucking
fucking
dope,
delicious.
yeah.
It was good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No,
No, but I see it both ways. Like I remember at one point I was for whatever reason, I was at like around the corner, and I came out to stand on the sidewalk to have a smoke, and like I took one step out, and this dude almost like smashed into me riding his bike, probably 25 miles an hour down the sidewalk.
how are you always just in where someone's gonna almost hit you?
I don't understand the question.
Didn't you just told us this about the Segway? Now someone also almost hit you with the motorized bike.
2 times in 43 years, and you're just like, oh, what are you just serially in people's ways?
Yeah.
Fuck
What the
off.
fuck are you doing? Go on.
Yeah, twice in 43 years. But
Well, it's twice in 10 minutes now.
Gonna get him a safety vest.
those are
He's a
assholes.
fucking bubble.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm just saying, you can't ride on the sidewalk.
You should. I did it my entire life.
I did too.
I never hit anybody on my bike
Me either.
on the sidewalk. You have a bell, right?
Yeah.
Zing, zing, on your left. People
Yeah.
walking, step over. You're not fucking in anybody's way. You're not possibly causing accidents. And you know what? I have a friend that I went to school with. Guess what? Got fucking hit by a car. The back tire got bumped, fell off the bike, slammed his head on the concrete, on the curb, dead. Cool.
I'm sorry. What are you arguing for here?
That I don't think that bikes should be in the fucking street. Get on the sidewalk.
Oh.
Like a child.
get on the sidewalk like a child?
Yeah.
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 You're a
You get it.
sidewalk child.
I'll give you a dig for that.
I think, yeah. That's even more racist than a pizza.
The pizza.
I think the pizza.
You
Fucking
you fucking
pizza.
sidewalk child. That sidewalk child is a pizza. And everyone's like, Jesus Christ. It's a kid you're talking
The
about.
price of spaghetti's going up. What about the banana slicer? Do you guys remember this thing coming out?
So dumb. Why?
No.
Why do they still have that? They still sell them at grocery stores.
It
Why?
is so dumb, but I feel like this is the same thing as the Pet Rock. Completely unfucking necessary.
I don't
but-
understand it.
Made a shit ton of money off this. But at least this guy, apparently he was donating like 50% or something like that to everything he was bought was to some fucking orphanage in like India or something like that. So at least he was having a purpose, but still.
Was he donating it to a 50-50?
Maybe. Throw that one back. But yeah, they cost $7. Oh, he made a deal with Chiquita Banana.
Yeah, nice.
And he also gave one to George Bush and Queen Elizabeth at the time. Like, hey, try this shit out. And then, of course, they were repping it.
Sure.
And then he sold about 1 million of them for like $5 a piece.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then, but apparently once his like trademark went up,
Yeah.
that was kind of it. He
Well-
hasn't been making money from it in the last like 40 years or whatever.
Well, hopefully he put his money away from his banana slicer.
yeah.
Jerk.
There's even people that were complaining that they're like, this shit doesn't work. And it's like, hey, fuckface, take the peel
Right,
off.
right,
Like, this
exactly.
doesn't cut through the peel.
Right.
Yeah, it's not supposed to, dickhead.
God. Some people
Are the
are
worst.
so fucking so dumb.
Yeah.
My old roommate Anthony, I always laugh because he had every useless piece of kitchen gadgetry in the entire world. I love kitchen gadgetry.
Same.
I have fucking Instapots and pressure cookers and multiple crock pots, and I have a sous vide machine. I have all this shit. But Anthony had one thing that always made me laugh, and it was a quesadilla maker. Okay, so imagine
Why?
imagine a George Foreman grill.
It's like an omelet maker, basically.
Imagine a George
Go on.
Foreman grill that has like little triangle areas marked off on it that are raised a little bit, right? So you put a tortilla down,
Mm-hmm.
put your cheese and your toppings down, put another tortilla down, close the press,
Right.
and then it like puts burn marks where the slices go. Then you take out the whole thing, you cut it following the lines,
Mhm.
and now you have a quesadilla. And he was like, "You want a quesadilla?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Like, go ahead, make
Who
it.
doesn't?
We're drunk.
Yeah.
Make us a quesadilla." And he's like, "All right, man, I'll be right back." He like goes down to the basement. He comes up with his box. I'm like, "What is happening? man?" Like, what is going on in the basement that is required for this quesadilla?" And he's like, "Well, hold on." He plugs this thing in, he warms it up, sprays it with fucking, can't believe it's not butter or whatever.
Yeah.
Puts down the first tortilla. I'm
Ham.
like, what is happening right now? He's like, hold on, bro, I have a quesadilla maker. And I'm like, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious why.
Yeah.
So he does it, and then he pulls it out, and he fucking cuts it, and he's like, dude, this is the best quesadilla you've ever had. And I'm like, it's just a fucking quesadilla, sir. I'm like, do you own a saute pan? And he's like, I do. And I'm like, do you own a second one? And he goes, well, you own like 9 saute pans. And I'm like, that's right. So I take out a saute pan, put a little oil in it, tortilla, cheese and meat, tortilla, and then a saute pan on top of it.
Yeah.
And then I just flip it over.
That's it.
And then I fucking cut it into triangles.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you need?
It's-
What else does it do besides make quesadillas? He's like, it just makes quesadillas, but they're perfect.
Idiot.
Like, you're a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah.
How do you have room in your house for this? Like, obviously he was single at the time because Jen she would never let me have that.
Because you don't need it.
First of all, how often am I making quesadillas? Like, probably
Also true.
4 times a year.
Sure.
And it was the size of a George Foreman grill. Like,
Yeah,
where
just
do you have
use the
space
fucking
for-
pan.
Use a fucking pan, you
Flip it.
idiot. Yeah. You don't even
Fold
need 2
it.
saute pans. Use one
You
big
could do
tortilla.
one.
Put cheese all over it and let that melt. Then put
Close
chicken
it.
and fucking and then fold it in
Yeah,
half.
and
you
then
dickhead.
fried on both sides.
It's already
yeah.
fried on both sides because you've only used
yeah.
one part.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
One saute pan. God, I'm gonna throw this microphone out the fucking window in a second. I'm so mad.
So
people
people
are
for
fucking.
Christmas.
If either of you assholes get me a fucking quesadilla maker, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Had I had known this, it'd been great to give him that for the wedding present.
That is true.
You guys should have all banded together and all gotten us quesadilla makers. So we just ended up with like 37 quesadilla makers.
In a row?
Jen would be so mad.
For the bachelor party.
Just
That's like like there's you're supposed to give like a gift to like all of like the
the
groomsmen.
Yeah, just give out
This-
quesadilla
yeah.
makers. Speaking of, I'm gonna give one more shout out back to Robert Duckworth. He did give the greatest groomsman gift of all time for his wedding.
ZJ's.
What's a ZJ?
Oh, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Oh God damn it! I knew that. Damn it!
Got him.
Fucking what is that? Super Troopers 2?
Beer Fest.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Basically Super Troopers 2. But anyway, so he got us those things that you put on top of your whiskey glass that has like a little screen in it, and you put wood chips and a little butane torch.
Oh yeah, I've
so you
seen
can
those.
Smoke your
Smoke
own
it.
cocktails. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
That's pretty cool. Have you used that?
I have.
Nice.
I drink too much, too fast.
Yeah.
To be smoking all my cocktails.
Fair enough.
And
But
also
on the occasional
smoking
night, you're like,
dope.
yeah, fair enough. Can't be a whole night of smoking.
Yeah. I'm just putting weed in there. I'm just smoking my bourbon with weed.
Oh.
I hadn't even thought of that. This is the smartest. I have to go actually. So pizza bagels. I'm out of here. I'm gonna cancel my brunch plans, and I also consider myself a bit of a scientist.
Interesting. I wonder how that would fucking taste.
I bet it would taste great, and I bet that because when you smoke it, it's like a wooden coaster with a little metal screen. So you put the wood chip pellets in, and you use the butane torch, and then the smoke comes down, and it sits on top. You let it marinate for like 45 seconds,
Yeah.
and you take it off. So what if I did that with all weed, and then once I took it off, I just lifted the glass up and was like, and then drank the cocktail, and then
Can you do that? Take a video?
fuck, I'll just bring it over here, and we can do it together.
Oh, I'm not doing that. But you
Pussy.
can if you want to.
Pussy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it on the show, if not, if you do it at home, take a video of that
Done.
and let's fucking put it up on an episode.
Well, I'll have to get a fucking selfie stick, but I don't have any friends to record.
I
yeah.
think
While,
you can.
while
I
you're
think,
making quesadillas.
Yeah.
Your quesadillas.
I'm pretty sure you can set your phone up against like your counter wall and sit
Yeah.
there at the counter and do it. Take a fucking video if you do it
Done.
at home. If not, if you're gonna do it here, then I'll fucking film it.
I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
I don't have to. We'll do it right here.
I'm gonna do it right now, like soon, as soon as I get.
Yeah, I want to fucking see that. I think you should fucking try
This is
to
a great idea.
Yeah, do like the suck the smoke out of it and then take a sip and then blow the smoke out.
Can you imagine?
Could you
Can
imagine?
you imagine if we just invented weed-infused cocktails, and that's how we make our millions of dollars?
Oh no. But
I'll say right
They're
now
all
we'll
gonna
go
hear
we'll
about
go
this.
33, 33, 33 right now, and the 1% will donate to 50-50s.
all right,
But I
deal.
also want half of the winnings of the 50-50 if we win.
We all do.
Right. Yeah. So 50-50.
yeah. Yeah, 50-50-50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody put that weed in their coffee like that. Like
Yeah,
you put it in
I'm
the
sure.
coffee grounds.
Yeah.
I've heard that the other day.
Of course. Listen, people who smoke weed are putting weed in everything.
They're fucking geniuses,
I'm
dude.
telling
They're innovators for sure.
You know, it would make this a lot cooler if we put some weed in it. Like every time. Yeah.
Man.
All right. Well, we're running short on time now. So, what about some of the best inventions? What do you think is like the best invention of our lifetime?
I have not put any thought into that. I was just thinking all of the fucking dumb ones. The best invention?
I mean, let's not even
Probably
say
a
our lifetime.
quesadilla maker.
That's
You're a
what
piece
I'm
of shit, fucking assholes. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich, perhaps. Fucking jerk
That
offs.
is an awesome invention.
No, my list is always the same, and it is not in specifically this order. It's the Sawzall,
Okay.
the condom,
Okay.
and the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Do you remember those?
The Vortex bottle?
Yeah, they made those Vortex bottles.
Those like the metal can or metal bottles?
No. They were the regular glass bottles, but they were called Vortex bottles, where they said there was like some twisty motion on the
In the
inside
neck?
of it in the neck, so that you could drink it faster with less carbonation hitting
Do
you.
you remember
It's like, oh, are you
those?
trying to get hammered off this Miller Lite? Everyone's like, yeah, because they taste like shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, good. So now we invented a bottle so you can drink it faster and taste it less. And we're all like, fuck yeah, dude. That's what I want, is to taste your drink less and drink it faster. Miller Lite Vortex, then you saw some shit, and then you fuck some dirty broad with a condom on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. America.
I don't know, Tommy, you got any best inventions?
That comes to my mind.
Yeah. Let me think about this for 0.2 seconds. I don't know. There's 1,000
What
good
about
things.
seltzers? I mean, what about this? Like, we're drinking these like fucking no problem, right? I haven't drank a beer. I mean, I did have a porter yesterday, but that was the first beer I've had in some time. Alcoholic seltzers, that's a
I'm into
great
it.
fucking
Yeah.
thing, right? Like, we're all into it. Everybody's down for that.
And now there you come up more flavors like, hey, you remember Sunny D? Yeah, there's an alcoholic version.
Oh
of
my
that.
god, the Sunny D's are so fucking
They
good.
are
By the way,
so
they're so expensive, but
good.
they're so good. They're
Yeah.
like $4 a piece at the grocery store, which
Yeah.
is dumb, but they're so fucking
But
good.
they're like 6 if you go to the bar.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm getting fucked either way.
They're so good.
They are fucking delicious. I don't know, man.
Well, if you got more bad inventions,
How about pasta? That's a great invention.
you know that it was invented by the Asians? Though.
I do, but the Italians perfected it.
Well put.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll concede. Yeah. You can have that.
To my fellow pizzers.
Your pizzers. Bunch of goddamn pizzers taking credit for them Asians.
Let me throw one last one.
What a
out
pizza
here.
thing to do.
Do you remember the Flow Bee?
Oh my god. It literally, I don't know why I crossed it off, but it's the second from the top of my.
You had it on your list here?
It sucks as it cuts.
Yeah, it sure does
It
suck.
certainly does suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that people, even if we still know people that watched Wayne's World, I think that they don't know that was a real thing.
No, I don't
That
think
there
so.
were, like,
And
infomercials.
well, let's explain. If you're not getting the reference here or know what it is, it was the vacuum cleaner
it's like a dirt devil that also
cuts your hair.
hair.
Yeah, they had like a connection to put on the hose to cut your hair at the same time as vacuuming it all up, which seems like a dope idea at
It
the
does,
time.
yeah. If accuracy is not the goal of your haircut,
Right.
If you're just like, I don't want cleanup,
Yeah.
and I don't care how it looks, the Flowbee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Flow Bee.
Yeah.
Although I think I remember seeing something that like George Clooney like used it and or still uses it.
Like on his ball sack,
Maybe.
probably on his pubis.
No, but I feel like that like Clooney like stands by that product. When everyone else is like, dude, what the fuck? Let it go.
For millions of dollars, I'll stand by any product.
I don't know. I don't even think that he's even actually getting paid for it. I
That's
think
what
that
most
he's just like,
influencers
dude,
do.
this
They
is
get
sick.
everything for free.
He just
So-
loves it.
Maybe. Let me look this up. Hold on one second. I mean, this is those things. They cost like $150, right?
Still?
Which is,
They
I mean,
still
they,
sell
no, I'm
those?
saying that when they were out, they
Yeah.
cost $150.
Yeah, they were like dirt devils, but
Yeah.
with a haircutting attachment.
And it was like in the early '90s, and I think it was like by like '93, they had sold by like 200,000 units.
That's crazy.
At $150 a piece. Again, like this is fucking dumb inventions that like people made so much money off of.
Sucks as it cuts. Man,
Certainly does suck.
people forget what a great movie Wayne's World was, or haven't seen
Oh
it.
yeah.
So good.
Let me see here. George Clooney, Flowbee. Oh yeah, looks like he apparently actually did an interview with Jimmy Kimmel.
Where he repped the Flowbee.
Yeah.
Was that a parody? You know?
I
Or
mean,
is that-
I guess it could be. I don't know. I mean,
It's not a very funny topic.
no, it's not. I mean, I was gonna play the video, but there's really no point. And it looks like they are still being made. It continues into production. Is sold through the Flowbee factory direct
All right, man.
website.
I'm gonna start looking for a used one. You ready to get Flowbee cuts on an episode?
I mean, not me.
You're like, I have beautiful hair.
Yeah, I still have good. Your guys' hair is like you guys are basically shaving your heads anyways,
I
right?
have hair.
I know, but you get it trimmed. Yeah, but like yours is short enough where we could
I
probably
have
use the
hair.
Flowbee on that. Let's get Sheesh on here. Let's test it on him.
Let's have Sheesh give us haircuts.
No.
Don't be a pussy. Let's have
For how
Sheesh
much?
give us haircuts.
No, I don't trust. I don't even give a shit how much. I don't trust. I don't trust Sheesh.
Not even if there's a
Flow
fire.
being my hair. Yeah.
I think it'd be funny. Or we can figure out a game or a bet, and the loser gets their haircut
That's fair.
by Sheesh.
Okay, that's absolutely
Yeah, coming
fair.
from the guy who got 69 boys tattooed on his ass cheek, I'm pretty sure we can do a
That
bet
wasn't a
for
bet.
a haircut.
I was drunk in Chicago, and that sounded like a dope
Let's
idea.
get drunk in your attic and figure out how we're going to get Sheesh to cut one of our hairs. I think it's a great idea.
All right.
When we hit 100,000 total likes, we'll figure that out.
All right, deal.
Yeah.
That sounds it.
Yep.
Oh, there you go, guys. If you we get up there, get your friends to start following.
Yep. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Watch us on YouTube. Check us out. 440-363-0121.
Wow,
when
this
did
is
I start the
interesting.
440?
I know, and
That
we're
was
just
unexpected.
Looking at each other straight in the eyes the entire
weird.
time.
Yeah, my
This
penis is strangely erect.
And mine is moving.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's
Like
just
it's red rumming. At me.
yeah.
It's awkward. You might want to see a professional doctor.
That's my 2:00 today.
It's my shrimp dick.
I'm actually gonna go do that before I start making the Italian wedding
Oh,
suit.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, go check us out on YouTube if you're not watching already. The videos are fun. You get to look at these handsome boys talking,
us.
joking.
Handsome.
440-363.
0121.
You send us some pictures, send us a text, leave us voicemails. We'll talk about it.
Shit that's dripping on your feet, brick tits,
Yeah.
nip slips, upskirts, whatever.
Whatever you want.
It's
I mean-
gonna be a bunch of dick pics now.
If it's all dicks, it's fine.
I mean, we did have one ball sack pick.
we
That is
did.
true.
Yeah. Which we talked about on the show. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that works too. You know, if you're going
It's
to send
fine.
us
Yeah.
balls or boobs or whatever, we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
If you're out of the country and listening and you cannot text us, send us an email, pizzabagelspod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Pizza Bagels Pod on all the social medias, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, you
Load
know,
us up with hate. Hit us up with
Spotify,
comments.
Apple. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Voicemails, text, whatever.
Yeah, if you fucking hate this fucking big dum-dum.
Earn yourself a fucking shout out, pussies.
Yeah. Ooh,
Holler.
we should, we'll do maybe like a live episode and let's get some roasts going.
Fuck yeah.
Let's get some pre-roasts. Start sending in some texts, some roasts, and then let's get a live version going.
Hell yeah.
And then just let us fucking roast us and we can just fucking laugh about
We
it.
did do mom jokes last week, so
We
if you
did.
want to start throwing in some, the bagel's so Jewish, then
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that number one more time is 440-363.
0121.
Thanks for listening, guys. Love you.
Holla,
And we'll
holla, holla. Not just Jewish bread.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.